Well, thank you very much, Dave. This question is for Graham. When you first got the call, did any thought go through your mind like, well, wait a minute, our driver hit your driver? Why are you calling us? I mean, but I'm not trying to be macabre there, but it was an interesting irony there, right?
Leave it to the Columbus, Ohio guy to ask the question.
Right.
To be honest, it's an interesting situation across the board. And I certainly don't, as I've made clear all along, I don't feel good about filling in for an injured driver. I feel for Stefan. I've said that numerous times here. I feel for him tremendously because I do know how much this means to him and how much work he puts in and year out to be here. Unfortunately, in racing, things happen. I mean, look at the last 48 hours, in my life, even it's been all over the board. And, as I said, in any, and this is the truth, in some other situations, I don't think that it would have excited me as much, but being that it was Stefan, being it was a Wilson, and in the situation it was in, I just felt like it was my calling to jump in and help. And I was very fortunate that Dennis and Don and everybody at DRR and Cusick Motorsports called me. I mean, it's that simple. I was honored because, on a personal level too, as I said already, I felt, it gave me a boost personally to get the call because, I have driven for my dad for so long. You always wonder, what everybody else thinks of you, so to speak. And so it was a blessing, but I want to make sure, like I've said all along, that, for me, my job is to go out there and make everybody here proud. And that includes Steph. I can't imagine what's going through his mind. As Don said, I'm sure emotionally, this is a very, very, very tough time for him. We just want to be there to support him as best we can and perform as best we can, no matter what the scenario was or how it all took shape yesterday.
Yeah. And there's no two nicer guys than Stefan and Justin Wilson. I mean, it is. Yes. Great. Real quick though, like you were talking about a while ago, getting up to snuff with the car itself. Will you just sit in the car and run through the buttons on the steering wheel, for example, and things like that? And is there any kind of simulator you can jump in at this point?
No, really just sit in there and speak with Ryan mainly, to try to get his input because he's been, through a few different teams and stuff. So to get his input on how things work, because everything is a little bit different, team to team, the way the weight jackers work, or, the fuel mixtures or trim switches and all these other things, where the radio button is. Do they use a drink bottle or do they use a pump? There's a variety of different scenarios there. But as Dennis also said, I do think that Dad and Dennis have been tremendous in working together. And I know a lot of my stuff, seat wise, belts, even potentially all that stuff from RLL will be able to carry over. The chassis are all pretty much, they're built the same by Dallara. So should be able to jump in and get going. The steering wheel is just not one you can switch easy because the programming and the wiring and everything is pretty specific to the team. So we'll sit in there and study as best we can. Probably take a photo so that I can go home and look at the wheel and get the buttons memorized. All those things are going to be critical. But in this situation as a veteran, you've got to be a professional, and that's what you've trained to do for years and years, and you've got to be able to jump in and do it.
Yeah. A weight jacker. What's that? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know too well, unfortunately.
Yeah. Hey, last thing though, you feel, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but I think you feel like you're stepping into a quality race car too, right? I mean, based on their performance. Oh,
I mean, there's no doubt that it's a great opportunity. These cars have been very, very strong. So, for me, I feel good about that, about our chances this weekend and, to move forward and put on a heck of a show. We've got 500 miles to do so. Try to play it as we always do, put ourselves in a good position, come the last couple stints of the race and be able to move forward and hopefully make these two proud and staff and everybody associated with the program.
Thanks, Graham.